Hello.
What's up?
Welcome to Redeemer Youth, you guys. We are so excited that you're here with us. If we haven't met before, my name is Brian.
My name is Baco.
We are your MCs, at least for the beginning of this whole thing. Baco, it's snowing out. I'm excited about that. I think there's good stuff happening there.
That's cool.
I hope you're excited about it as
turn
well.
into a blizzard, but
Well, it shouldn't turn into a blizzard.
Okay,
But if it does, then we're going to have blizzard fun. That's what's going to happen.
All right.
But hey, wherever you're at, let us know that you're there. I would love if you'd comment in the chats. We got all the stuff right here. We can see you. We want to chat with you, connect with you. And hey, if at any point during the night tonight or even tomorrow or whatever, you want to expand the community of what's happening here at Redeemer Youth, we would love if you would share this link on your social media pages, send it over a text to someone, share what's going on here. We'd love to see more and more people connect with Redeemer Youth and connect with you as you connect with us. So we've got all those things going on. Baco, we are in a new series we started last week called Dangerous Prayers. You know, and maybe you can speak for yourself. Well, you should just speak for yourself. But I know for me, I tend to get into like that default mode of like, when I pray, all right, God, I pray for, thanks for a good day, pray for this food, help me sleep well.
To, like, get over with the prayer or something.
Yeah, like I'm praying because I should, but I'm not really, right? Like that tends to be everyone's default. And what I love about this series, this whole Dangerous Prayers series, is we're going through this and talking about prayers that people wouldn't normally pray, and yet these are prayers right out of the Bible. So super excited about that. Last week's prayer was, search me, God. And what a deep question, right? Know my heart, point out to me anything that is offensive to you. Crazy, right? That's a dangerous prayer. It's a dangerous place to be. Tonight, we got a brand new prayer. But one of the things we're doing throughout this whole series is having people text in their questions. And so for you, if you have questions about God, about faith, about the Bible, about life, I would love to see you send in your questions. You can just write them into the comments. We'll give you more options later in the evening. But for now, if you have questions about God or about spirituality, put them in the comments. We'd love to answer the questions that you have got.
Yeah. Sometimes for many of us, we have that one question about whatever, the Bible, God, and we just like store it away because we can't answer it. Maybe send that one in, or just try to remember that, because sometimes it does take a long time for that answer to get answered.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. And this is going to be the place where, hey, we might not have all the right answers, but we will certainly work together to find an answer to the questions that we're asking. So I know, even as somebody who's been following Jesus for a long time, who like leads in the church, I still have questions about God. And so I would love for you guys to ask the questions that you have. Now, Baco, we need to switch and play our game for the night. Now, this is going to be a tricky one because the colors on the screen are a little bit wonky, but I think you can still handle it, okay? Baco, you tell them the game. I'm going to see if I can find another person in-house here to play this game.
All right, this game is basically superheroes, like, color match.
Okay. I'm just gonna give you
so we'll have a guess, one person. What's your name?
Sam.
Hi, Sam. So Sam here is our guest, and he's going to be playing. You ready to play? Do you know how to play? Did Brian tell you? Okay, so we're going to play this superhero color match. Brandless superheroes. There we go. So round one. Can you guess this symbol from what superhero?
Superman.
No. He's kind of the opposite. Well, he's not Superman, but it's the other guy. He's the other one.
Batman?
Yes. Batman. There's a big bat symbol that's supposed to be there. But like in the newer movies, he's like gray. I guess in the old ones, he's orange or yellow. Okay, round two. We got, I've never seen this one.
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter? Okay. I want to say Wonder Woman, but it's not Wonder Woman. Maybe it is Wonder Woman. Let's see. Superman.
What?
Wait, let's see. Okay. Superman. The colors are weird, though. Let's see. Next one, round three. What is this? Okay, so last round. This is supposed to be red, and I guess that's darker blue. I think that's red, and then an even darker blue. So,
I'm not good at DC superheroes.
is it DC? Oh, it might be. Is it Marvel?
None
Marvel?
of these
Not
have been
Marvel. It's DC. It's DC. Not sure. Okay, let's see. Let's say, is it before it's Shazam? Captain America.
Oh, so it is.
So it
Marvel.
was Marvel.
But that was not. How is that? How?
Oh, the colors are just messed up. Yeah,
That is not Captain
This is
America's
actually
colors.
yeah, this is actually harder than I thought it would be. Round 4.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen this. Oh, square. Well, yeah, Boxman.
I have no clue what you're
Okay,
saying.
this is like magenta. I'm guessing it's supposed to be even darker red, yellow, and then that's like.
Are
white?
they saying we're colorblind?
Maybe this, yeah, colorblind superheroes. Okay, let's see what it is. Shazam.
How? That is not anything for Shazam. Literally a day or two ago, I watched Shazam.
Yeah, it would have been better with the red
Yeah, really fun.
Shazam.
Please don't, Brian.
All right, round 5. This one, I have no idea. A circle. I'm guessing this is black, red, black.
The last few if we turn.
Flash? Would Flash be better?
Hey.
No. You can come in.
Hey, Lucas.
Hello, Michael. What's up? This is my boy right here. He's the best.
Hey.
All
Bye,
right. You have a
Lucas.
guess? No.
Honestly, I don't know.
Thor.
That is nothing with Thor.
Of course, it's Thor.
Really, Brian.
One more. Okay.
They're calling me super. They're calling us blind. They're calling us
I think-
colorblind.
Flash.
They're calling
any
us
guess?
colorblind, and I don't like it.
Batman again. I mean, Martian Manhunter. Let's see. Iron Man. Hulk.
Hulk. That is nothing with Hulk. They're legitimately calling us colorblind. They're calling us colorblind. This is nothing with the Hulk.
Oh, Sam, thank you for playing. This game there was nothing to this game. I don't know. It's like brandless superheroes. This was just absolute nonsense superheroes is what this was.
Tablet.
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you guys had fun playing online. We certainly had something here. I'm not sure what this was. Oh, Baco, that was something. That was something else. So, Baco, I don't know what else to say. This game was ridiculous.
It was something, yeah.
I hope you had some fun, but we're gonna get started. I'm super excited, you guys. We have a full night full of incredible stuff. I absolutely believe that wherever you are watching this, you are gonna have an encounter with God tonight. So, be prepared. Be ready for God to do something in your life. Be expectant. Baco, let's see where God takes us tonight. We'll see you guys in just a few.
Worship tonight, we'll get this evening started. Ascend
Welcome to Redeemer Youth, especially to you guys online. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Nate, and this is...
I'm Mackenzie.
What up, Mackenzie? How you been?
Hey. I've been good. How are you?
Good. So, I heard, or at least a little birdie told me, we're going to play a game.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is our game for today?
Our gang.
Okay.
Gang? Nope.
Game.
Our game.
I can't speak.
Is
Sorry. Game.
the slang game.
Okay.
So from my understanding, a slang word of some kind will appear, and we have to guess what it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what is our first slang word?
I don't know.
All right. So I guess first, right?
Yeah, because you're older.
I'm older. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for that reminder.
You're welcome.
I have not found my first gray hair yet, but I guess
Are
I
you
am
sure?
older. Okay, well, judge
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. What is our first word?
Bread.
Okay. So, is it a pastry? Pastry, like the thing you put on a sandwich, or I think I got this one. Money.
Yeah.
Is it money?
I would agree with that. That's what I would say, too.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we're 1 for 1 so far. All right. Nate is not as old as he thinks he is. All right, round two.
Sure?
T. Okay, so I know this one.
Do you?
Okay, why?
I'm sorry. Really passive aggressive.
Okay, really? Really? A little? All right, I'm going to go with T is gossip. Oh, we're 2 for 2. I'm
really proud of you.
Again, passive aggressiveness. I thought we were
I'm
working on
proud
this.
of you.
All right, round 3. Beat face. Oh, this is difficult. I have no idea what this. I'm going to guess like a red beat face. Also, online, you guys, let us know what your guesses for these new slang words are. We would love to hear them. But I'm going to go with this guess is like a red beat face or like something like that.
I don't know. Is it like the face you have after you get beat? Like disappointment?
Okay,
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what that
wow,
means.
you are
No, that's
like,
not directed at you. That's
oh,
just a general guess.
wow, Mackenzie. I thought we
really
were
sorry.
friends.
I'm sorry.
Okay. What is beat face mean? Extraordinary makeup. Bad makeup?
Not
I have no idea. All right, what's our next slang word? Round 4. Hop off. Okay, hop off. Completely lost. Maybe I am old. I'm gonna go with like jump off something or like jump off a building. I don't know.
I think it's more like when someone's getting on you, you're just like, hop off. Like, Stop. Get
Okay.
off me.
So Mackenzie, hop off.
hop off.
Is that? Let's see what it is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hop off, Mackenzie.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what round 5 is. Round 5, spilling the tea. Ooh. Okay. Earlier.
So you got the first one.
Earlier. Tea was about gossip. So I'm gonna go with this one. That spilling the tea is telling somebody the gossip.
I think you're right.
Okay. Let's see what it is. Sharing someone else's business. Does that count? I think that counts. Okay.
That's literally gossip.
All right. Is that what gossip is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You have experience in that?
Hey.
Whoa. How the tables have turned. All right, round 6. What is our round 6? Weak. Okay. I'm going to go. It's obviously not being weak, even though you have experience in that, Mackenzie.
Hey.
Oh, it became the roast of Mackenzie here. All right, I'm going to go with weak has to do with like laughing, something with laughing.
I'm weak. Yeah.
Yes, you're hilarious.
It's like the equivalent of like, isn't it the equivalent of like I'm dead? Like
You're dead. Are you a ghost? Okay.
Did you just call me pale? Was that your way of?
Oh.
I don't know.
Yes.
Isn't it like?
All right. What's weak? What's weak stand for?
Yeah. So.
You don't make me very weak.
I was kind of right.
Okay.
I don't make you weak.
Yeah, you're not hilarious. What round are we on now? Round
I don't know.
7? Round 7. Round 7. All right. So let's see what this word is. The real one. The real one. So it's not make-believe. So it's not Mackenzie. Am I getting too
Your
mean?
roasts aren't even making sense anymore. That's.
I have no comeback.
Real
to that,
one?
Sorry. Yeah, is the real one someone who's like really close to you? It's like,
Kind of. It's used. You're a real one, so it's like.
I'm not make believe.
Thank you. No, it's not like. I don't know how to explain it. It's like
Okay.
you're a good friend.
Okay. So not you.
So-
What's real one mean?
Yeah. See.
Someone you can count on.
I was right. Kind of. Good
You're right.
friend.
I can't count on you.
No, not that. My definition.
Oh, okay. All right. Whatever you say. Round 8. Round 8. I want you to guess
Am I winning?
first. I want
Am
you
I
to guess
winning?
first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Receipts.
Receipts. It's like proof.
Proof?
It's when you're
Proof?
trying to prove that something happened, your receipts. Like if you like, I don't know. It's the receipts.
Okay.
Like if someone's like gossiping about you and someone's like, oh, don't worry, I have receipts, and then they show you like text messages where someone was like
Why don't they
talking
just say
about
proof?
you. It's the same. It's just a.
That seems like
It's
going
more
the
fun.
extra mile.
It's more fun.
It's more fun about gossiping? Isn't gossiping not okay?
It's a more fun word for it.
Wow. You need to find some
Jesus,
new words.
I know.
Yes, you
I know.
do. All right, what's receipts mean? I can't even say it. Show proof. Oh, you were right. Okay.
I know.
All right. Even a blind squirrel gets a nut. All right, what's round 9?
You're so mean.
It's not very hard. Maybe I need Jesus too. All right, red. Okay, left on red. I'm guessing that's where this is coming from. Red? So I'm gonna say like ignored.
That's what left on red means, but I don't know if just the word red means that.
Or is it read? There's a difference. Read or read?
Read?
Do you know how to read? Obviously, if you can read the word read. Anyway, what's read mean?
Read or read.
Insult someone. Okay. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think that's right.
Even like Mackenzie's face was like, I know she's younger.
I've never heard of that.
You never heard of that?
Is that an old person slang term that I just...
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay, well, I don't know what that means.
All right. What's our next round? Round 10? Round 10?
How are there so many?
So many opportunities to
I'm
roast
too old
Mackenzie.
to know?
All right. What is our round 10 word?
I feel like I'm young.
Clap back. Okay. Clap back. Now, I feel like we have been clapping back at each other this whole time. And I just want to say, I'm not sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think I've
like
ever
a
heard those words.
Clap back?
Yeah.
It's like a comeback. Like,
Come back.
someone like insults you, you like clap back. Like you reciprocate the action. Like
You clap back.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's
Yeah.
clap back mean? So curious. Oh, you were right again. Wow.
This is so fun.
Apparently, a blind squirrel can get 2 nuts.
I missed that one. Did you insult me again?
I did. I
Okay.
clapped back. All right. What? Do we have a round 11? Do we have a round 11? Yes, we do.
Of course we do.
All right. What is our round 11?
I don't,
Ghost. Okay.
do you know this one? I feel like you should know this one.
I should know this one.
Maybe not. But
It's not the movie Ghost. It's not a make-believe ghost. It's not Casper the ghost. Ghost. Does that have to do with like not reading again?
not
maybe?
really.
Not really?
It's just when you like stop talking to someone, like you just cut them off without any like explanation, like you ghost them.
You ghost them?
Like
So it's not
you-
like it's like you're not even there.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. All right.
Kind
All
of.
right. Is that what ghost means?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow. 3 for 3, Mackenzie. 3 for 3.
I've only gotten 3.
Yes, you've only gotten 3.
I feel like that's not right either.
Oh well. Truth hurts.
Oh, that's the end.
That's the end. That's the
I
end.
think I won.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you a little elbow handshake. We
was
actually don't clap back at each other that much.
No.
But
Nate's
we're gonna
actually
move into a new
very pleasant.
game. It's not really new.
It's
We've
not
done
new.
it before.
It's not new.
It's not new.
No.
But it's one of our favorites, right?
Of course.
It's of course.
Of course.
Of course. All right. So our announcements, though, first.
That's first.
Thank you, Brian. All right. So our announcements. Our first one is youth leadership training. All right, we're gonna go with that one first instead. Flipping the script on us. I feel like the tech team is
feel like
clapping back
maybe-
at us.
Why would they clap back at us?
I don't
We
know.
didn't really. We didn't do anything to them.
All right. Youth leadership training is coming up. If you want to be a leader at camp or here at Redeemer Youth, you should take this class. It is 9th grade and up. We would love to have you, and we're going to talk all things youth leadership. And so that is March 7th and 14th, beginning at 9 a.m. We can't wait to see you. I'll be there. Brian will be there. Mackenzie, will you be there?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I already did
We
it.
would love to have you. So tell us, how was it? Was it fun?
Oh, it was so fun.
It was
I
so
enjoyed
fun?
it so much.
Yeah?
I actually would recommend being leader. Very fun.
Very fun?
Very fun.
Do you have experience in that?
A little bit.
Yeah? Well, no, being a leader is so amazing. We love it up here. And maybe one day, if you take youth leadership training, you can be up here with Mackenzie or I. Who knows? All right. Our second announcement is summer camp volunteer leader applications are open. Now, remember, if you want to be a volunteer leader at our summer camps, you have to take youth leadership
Do
training.
you have to do the training? To
Yes, you have to do it.
Oh,
You have to do
got
it.
it.
So if you want to be a volunteer leader at camp, you have to take our youth leadership training. But the applications are open. You can go to redeemermn.org/camps to find that application. We would love to have you guys apply. And I would say that we already have some applications in.
Really?
Yes, we
Oh,
do.
that's so
you guys have
exciting.
already started so much. But make sure to go and apply if you want to be a leader. We would love to have you. Now it's game time. Now it's
Another game?
Another game. Another game. We played it, remember?
Oh, yeah.
It's one of our favorites.
It is one of our favorites.
And it is called Hot Seat. So here's the gist of this game. Is we're going to call one of you guys up. And you're going to sit in this stool. And we're going to ask you a bunch of questions.
Are they intense?
They're intense questions.
Do you have to go fast, though?
Somewhat. But we'll try to go slow at some points. But anyway, let's invite our person up. And our person is Cassidy. So Cassidy, if you want to come up here, we are going to put you on the hot seat. I promise we will not make you cry. I promise. I promise.
Well, Nate might make you cry.
Okay. I thought we were done with the clapping
Sorry.
back.
My
I
bad.
thought
My bad.
we were done with the clapping back.
That's on me.
So, you remember the gist is we're going to just ask you some questions, and you give us the first answer that comes to your head. Maybe 5 seconds to think about it. Depends on the question. But
So we are going fast.
we are kind of going fast, not too fast. I feel... Oh, okay, Mackenzie.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go first.
Of course you will. Sorry.
Why don't you go first? Okay.
Sorry.
You go first
Okay.
then.
What's your favorite breakfast food?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Okay, I'm going to go with eggs.
I like waffles.
Waffles. All right. If you could get rid of 1 month, what would it be of? If you could get rid of one.
February.
Okay, February. Valentine's Day, though? Do you want to get rid of it?
Valentine's
She doesn't like Valentine's Day. Okay. All right.
Respect that. What's the funniest place you've ever fallen asleep?
At work.
Nice.
Work.
Yep.
Okay, like in a chair or like...
No, standing up. I used to bag newspapers and I stood up, fell asleep, fell down, woke up. It wasn't fun.
That's talent.
I've never had that happen. Apparently. Oh, all right. All right. What is the worst superpower of any superhero? What's the worst one?
Oh gosh, that.
Pick one. We won't judge you, I promise.
I think laser eyes are kind of stupid.
Laser what?
Laser eyes?
Laser eyes. Laser
Yeah.
eyes. There's a superhero that has laser eyes?
Possibly.
Okay. We're moving on from that
Somewhere.
question.
I don't know.
Wait,
All
no,
right.
Superman. What?
Superman. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
If someone wrote a book about your life, what would the title be?
A mess.
And Mackenzie, yours would be a mess too.
Oh.
Thank
I'd
you.
ask if I need to separate you two, but.
All right, moving on. What is your favorite candy?
Candy canes. I love candy canes.
You forgot the name of your favorite candy?
Yeah, it's seasonal, okay?
Let's be nice.
I need to be nicer. I'm sorry. Maybe this is a wake-up call for me. All right.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
I would agree.
Sweet.
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, Nate's the oddball out yet again. What TV or movie character is most like you? Or who do you identify with?
Oh gosh.
Time is ticking. 5.
Meredith Grey.
Meredith Grey.
Yes.
What TV show is that from?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's
All of you get
Anatomy.
on it.
Okay, all right.
Nate.
All right.
If God took a selfie, what face would he make?
Hopefully a smiley face.
Hopefully. Okay, if you could get paid to do anything in the world, what would it be?
Sleep.
Sleep. You have experience in that.
Yes.
You have experience
And
in
I have
that.
done it before, yep.
All right.
Ooh, roller coasters or Ferris wheels?
Roller coasters.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with roller coasters too.
I thought you were gonna say Ferris wheel and you scared me for a second. That's
What song will you never forget the lyrics of?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay.
I
Okay.
hope I forget that one.
what popular trend bothers you?
I thought about it. I thought about it, but I didn't.
I don't know. There's been many. I didn't really like the bucket hat trend.
Bucket hats?
I personally didn't look good in them, so I didn't like
Fair.
it.
Okay, this is
Some
maybe
people can pull them off.
how old I am again, but I literally thought you meant put a bucket on your head. All right, moving on. If you could wear one color for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Blue.
Blue.
Yep.
Blue.
Makes my eyes look pretty.
Kenzie?
Probably blue.
Probably blue. Yeah, I'm gonna go blue too. Wow, 3 for 3 there. All right.
Who is the most famous person you've ever met?
Me.
The cast of Big Time Rush. Yep.
No, you.
Yep.
Wait, the
Logan
band Big Time
complimented-
Rush?
As opposed to what?
Yeah. What?
I don't know.
Logan.
Maybe there's a
complimented-
person? But explain it.
Logan complimented my pigtails,
Okay.
and one of them gave my mom a hug. It was a meet and greet. It was really nice. The last time I fangirled.
Okay.
That's a good fangirl, though. I support that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
No shame for the fangirling.
Are you a fangirl, Nate? Okay.
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
All right. What is your favorite smell?
Mint. I love
Mint.
mint.
Mint. I'm mint too. I like mint.
Yes.
What about you, Kens?
Probably just camp. Ham
Camp.
smells are kind of
Camp.
fun.
Oh, camp. I thought you said
Camp.
ham. I was about to say.
You said camp?
Camp.
Camp. So you like
You can't tell
smelly
me.
toilets, lake water.
Nope.
No, like the smell of nature. The smell
Oh,
of
nature.
camp.
Nature.
You should know it.
Come on, Nate.
Okay, and now I'm getting roasted by 2 people instead of 1. Moving up in the world. What is one nickname people call you?
Goose.
Goose?
What? Goose.
Okay, we got to hear this story.
Okay, so when I was younger, I would cough and I'd sound like a goose honking, and it started off as like teasing me, and I hated it for the longest time. And then my mom will not stop calling me it. She'll just like, I'll be at work, we work together. She's like, Goose, and I'm like, I have customers.
Not the time, Mom.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Cute. Oh, it's my turn.
It's your turn.
What 2 animals would you combine to create the cutest animal ever? I feel like this could turn out really bad.
Yeah.
Nate and Brian.
Maybe like. What did you say? No, don't repeat it.
Keep going. Ignore me.
Maybe like
5.
cat and a dog.
Cat and a dog.
You know, like the show.
So a dat or a cod?
Yeah, the old show. I mean, that was kind of cute.
Okay. Do you want to do this one or you want me to do it? Oh,
It's
I
your
want to do this
turn.
one. It's my turn? Oh,
It
okay.
is.
Who or where would you haunt if you were a ghost?
Columbia Golf Course.
Again, we got to know the reason why.
Well, it's a place that needs to be haunted. It looks like it should be haunted, and I haven't seen any ghosts, so I want to be the ghost to haunt it.
It's true. It is creepy when you drive by it at night. Like,
Yes. It's creepy to work there at night, too.
Nope.
all right, Mackenzie, take
Okay,
us home.
what's something weird that you would recommend everyone tries at least once?
I haven't done anything really weird. Well, no.
Goose, come on, Goose, come on.
Is there something weird that you like to eat that other people would not?
I love olives, but I don't know if that's like controversial.
Green or
I
black?
feel like if people should like
Green or black olives?
green olives. My dog's name is Olive, so I love olives.
Green
Sushi's
olives is
really
not
good.
that weird.
Alligator is really good too. On
Alligator.
sushi, alligator sushi. Yep.
Okay.
Florida.
So, you know, the crocodile hunter hunts crocodiles. Cassidy eats them.
Alligator.
She said
Alligator. Never mind.
Uh,
There's a difference.
Yes.
There's a difference. All right. Well, thank you, Cassidy. This has been Hot Seat. Let's hear it for Cassidy.
All right, that was ridiculous. Thank you guys for putting up with our ridiculous prayers. I think a video like that is always kind of like uncomfortably funny because of how close it is to home. Like we've all prayed like some pretty ridiculous prayers. I mean, if we can just be real with each other, be honest here. I know I have prayed stupid prayers. If you've prayed before, you've probably prayed some pretty ridiculous prayers as well. And here's the deal. So when it comes to like how we pray, we can pray some of the dumbest prayers, and that's totally okay, right? Like it is totally fine to pray some of the goofy prayers that we pray. The problem though is that for most of us, that's where our prayers end. Like that's where it stops. Is that we pray these prayers for like safety and protection, and that's it. But what if there were more to our prayers? Because you see, like when you pray for safety, when you pray for protection, and like that's kind of all that, you know, you pray for just the basic stuff, your prayers actually become limited. And they're limiting. Because God actually wants to do some real things in your life. And what if the things that God wanted to do in your life weren't safe? What if the things that God wanted to do in your life actually required you to do some things that were uncomfortable or actually took you out of the spaces that you've been in the past before? I mean, what if God actually wanted to make you more humble? Like, what if God actually wanted to make you more generous or more loving? And loving like how Jesus was loving, where like loving in a way where you would actually sacrifice some of yourself. Like you would sacrifice your own time and your own energy. You would sacrifice maybe some of your own comfortability, where you would sacrifice some of what is a benefit to you for the sake of other people. Like what if God actually wanted to grow some things in you that would require something of you? And what if the only way to become the kind of person that God wants you to become is for God to break you from something? For God to actually move in you in a way that actually makes you a little uncomfortable, or puts you into a little bit of a place of brokenness. It's hard because if what it's going to take to become who God wants us to become, if what it's going to take is to go through hardships and trials and like difficult situations and difficult seasons, if that's what it's going to take to become the kind of person that God wants us to become, we can all acknowledge that nobody likes being there, right?
I mean, we've all faced hard things before. We've all faced like hardships, those difficult seasons in our life, and nobody likes to be there. But what if the only way to move forward, what if the only way to grow more deeply with God was to pray a prayer that was dangerous, to pray a prayer that wasn't safe? We're in the middle of this series, and tonight what I want to do is I want to take us to the edge of one of the most dangerous prayers that you can pray. It's a prayer for growth. It's a prayer for blessing. It's a prayer for transformation, but it's also a prayer for hardship, for trials, for a season possibly where you would never hope to be. Tonight, I'm going to take us on our second dangerous prayer to take a look. But before I go there, I want to remind you that in this series, I'm encouraging all of you to text in the questions that you have about God, to send us your questions, because you see, no matter where you're at in your faith, you should always have questions about God, about faith, about the Bible, about spirituality. Whether you believe in God or not, we should be curious about this thing called spirituality, about this thing called faith, about religion, about the Bible. Like, we should always have a level of curiosity, a level of questions when it comes to God. And so I want to encourage you to send in your questions. And so there's three ways that you can do that. One is to actually write them down on a sheet of paper and put them into the box kind of in the back of the room back there. If you're engaging here online, what you can do is actually write your questions into the comments, and we'll get them there. And the third way, and probably the best way to send in your questions, is to text in your questions. And you can send those to 763-200-8225. And in a couple weeks from now, we're actually going to be taking the questions that you guys have asked and finding some answers to those questions together. And so I want to encourage you to keep sending in your questions. And here's the deal. What's so beautiful about this is that no question is off limits. You can send in whatever question you have, and I hope that you have questions about faith. So send those in. Now, I want to start actually by looking at a piece of the Bible that was written by Jesus' brother, a guy named James, which is weird because this James, right, Jesus' brother, actually believed that Jesus was God. Right, which is crazy to me, that he believed his own brother was God, and so he's pursuing faith. He's pursuing this life that Jesus had invited him into, and he writes some of these words in a book in the Bible called James. Hence the guy's name, James. Right? He writes these words that sound so weird because when it comes to like church and faith stuff, there's certain things that make a lot of sense and other things that are just odd. And James writes these words in James chapter 1. He says, "Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. Consider it an opportunity for joy when you face hardships and troubles and trials, when you suffer. It's an opportunity." It's so bizarre, but what James is getting at here is that when it comes to our prayers, that if all we're praying for is for safety and for protection, right? And not being open to the idea of hardship and trials, what James is telling us, that if all we're doing is praying for safety, that what we're actually praying is that we don't grow, that we don't change, that God won't transform us in any kind of way. You see, if you desire to be have like a deep relationship with God, if you actually want to like grow in your character, if you actually want to make a difference in the world around you, if you actually want to be a blessing to other people, then it may just be that the prayer you need to pray is the dangerous prayer, "Lord, break me." at Redeemer Youth, we've kind of said this a number of times, and we're going to keep saying this because it's part of the culture that we have here. It's simply stop pretending. Stop pretending. Like when you come into a space like this, you don't have to pretend to be anybody that you're not. And here's the deal, like some weeks just suck. They just do. And you can come to a space like this and not have to pretend like, okay, well, I'm at church, so now I have to put on a smile and be all, yay. Like, you don't have to do any of that garbage here. Like when you come here, you don't have to pretend. You can just be all that you are. And that's why I love when people come to a space like this who maybe don't believe in Jesus and maybe don't speak the same kind of language or act the same way that some Christians do. And that's awesome. Come and don't feel like you have to pretend in a space like this. And one of the reasons why we say don't pretend is because when we're up on stage here, we just want to be real and honest with you. And so what I want to do is I want to share with you guys just a couple of real honest stories about my life where I've had to ask Jesus to break me of a few certain things. And one of those is actually a prayer that I've had to pray kind of recently. It actually started a number of years ago, but I've had to continue to pray this in an area of my life that I've needed Jesus to break me from. For me, I've needed to be praying the prayer, Lord, break me of my racism. Now, growing up, I never thought of myself as like a racist person. Like nobody does that, right? I knew racism was wrong. I stood against blatant racism my whole life when I saw it. But you see, what happened was about 8 years ago, I started to recognize some things in me that I hadn't recognized before. Some things that didn't look like Jesus in me at all in the area of racism. You see, what I recognized, this happened about 8 years ago, I started to recognize in myself that I was still laughing at jokes that were racist or had racist punchlines. What I recognized in myself was, it was about 8 years ago that the Black Lives Matter movement really started to become viral and really take root. And I remember it was about 8 years ago, I started seeing that. And every time I heard Black Lives Matter, every time I heard white privilege, this anger would bubble up in me, and I didn't know where it came from. I would just get so mad and frustrated, and I didn't know why. I would just get angry when I would hear those things. It was 8 years ago, right in the same time, that I started to look around at the people closest to me and recognize that there wasn't one person who was close to me who didn't look just like me. You see, I started to recognize 8 years ago a part in me that I didn't really know was there until God started opening up my eyes. And what I realized is that nothing of that looked like Jesus. And so I started to pray the prayer, Lord, break me of my racism. And I've been on this 8-year journey now of God breaking me, of having hard conversations, of having to learn, of having to experience, and a lot of it hasn't been fun. I've done a lot of really dumb things and said a lot of stupid stuff, and people have had to be really gracious with me. But what I know is that as God has been breaking me of my racism, that who I am today looks so much more like Jesus than I did 8 years ago. That I've changed because of the brokenness that I've had to experience with Jesus. What about you? Like, what is it in you that God might need to break you from or break in you? Is it your pride? Your arrogance? Maybe for you, God actually needs to break you of your insecurities or your selfishness or maybe your self-doubt. Maybe there's some habits in your life that God needs to break you from, some attitudes or some mindsets that you have. What is it for you? That maybe what you need in order to grow, to become more and more like who God has called you to become. What is it that maybe God needs to break you from so that you can get there? You see, if you want to be used by God, you need to be surrendered to God, right? You need to be surrendered to God so that he can actually do something in you and through you. And And to be surrendered to God may mean that God will need to break you of things that you cannot surrender on your own. I know for me that's so true. And maybe it is for you too. I mean, praying this prayer, Lord, break me, it's a dangerous prayer because it might actually take you places that you never wanted to go. That in order to change, God might actually need to break you from things that you've been holding on to so tightly or that you never even knew really existed in you. But you see, when I think about a prayer like this, Lord, break me, I imagine it to be more like a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon. That through the brokenness, something beautiful emerges. And if that's the case, then is it an invitation for you to say, maybe brokenness is something that I need to walk through? Lord, break me so that you can release out of me something better. Throughout the Bible, Jesus has all of these kind of weird encounters with people. Jesus is always with people. He's always hanging out. He's with the crowd. He's with strangers. And he has these really weird experiences sometimes. And these tend to be the stories that, like, if you go to church a lot, these tend to be the stories that people skip over because they're just weird. They're just odd stories. And this is going to be one of the stories. In Mark chapter 14, Jesus has this encounter. This is what it says. It says, meanwhile, Jesus was in Bethany at the home of Simon, a man who had previously had leprosy. Okay, so Simon, Jesus is at the Simon guy's house. He healed him of leprosy. He's at that guy's house. And then this happens. It says, while Jesus was eating, a woman came in with a beautiful alabaster jar of expensive perfume made from essence of nard. And she broke open the jar and poured the perfume over Jesus' head. What a weird story. I mean, can you imagine eating at somebody's house and just having a meal and some stranger walks in and breaks a bottle of perfume and is like, on your head? What? What a weird story. But you see, what's actually happening here, if you take a step back and you kind of look actually at the details of what's going on here, what we know about this woman is that she was despised in her community. That this woman was a prostitute. That she was made to feel ashamed of who she was, and she should feel ashamed of what she was. And that's who this woman was. But somewhere along the lines, she has this encounter with Jesus that leads her to do this bizarre thing, to take an expensive bottle of perfume, break it, and pour it over Jesus' head. It's so odd. But I love it. It says that it's this expensive bottle of perfume that actually people who are way smarter than me, when it comes to the Bible, they looked into this. And what they found out is that this one bottle of perfume, it wasn't like hey, I went to Walmart and got this $2 cheap kind of, that's not what this was. This bottle of perfume that they estimated would have been it would have cost about $40,000 to $50,000. Can you imagine spending $40,000 to $50,000 on perfume? That's what this woman had. And yet in a single moment, she was willing to be broken from this perfume. That she was broken from the value that this perfume would have given her. It's so interesting that this woman, she carried around this bottle of perfume because it was the way that she would kind of advertise herself to the men. That's what this was for. That's what that's what the perfume was all about. And you see, what she's doing in this moment is that she's choosing to be broken from the thing that gave her her identity. She's choosing to be broken from her past. She's choosing to be broken from what her future would have been. And instead, she comes to the feet of Jesus, surrendered, and is broken so that something new can begin. I love it because even in communion, this is what happens. right? Jesus, he gives us this thing called communion where, Jesus says, he takes like a loaf of bread and he breaks it and he said, hey, this bread, this broken bread, it's like my body which will be broken for you. He takes a cup of red wine and says, this is like my blood that'll be shed for you. And all of this is this imagery that Jesus is going to go and die on a cross, that he's going to be broken and beaten and bloody on a cross. And what that is, how we understand the cross, is that that's the place where Jesus takes all of our sin, all of our gross, all of our ugly, and says, this is no longer going to be counted against you. It's done. It's fascinating because in communion, what Jesus is telling us is that it's in brokenness that Jesus will set humanity free. You see, when we receive communion, when we take communion together, we're receiving this forgiveness from Jesus because of his brokenness. But we're also answering this call to become like Jesus, to be surrendered to Jesus, to be broken like Jesus for others. I mean, Jesus says all of these bizarre things throughout the Bible. I mean, Jesus says things like deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow me. Meaning, okay, deny yourself and take up your cross. Surrender your life even to the point of death, which is what a cross was all about. If you're going to follow me, surrender your life, even to the point of death. Jesus said things like whoever loses his life for my sake will find it, right? When you are willing to lose your own life, to give up, to surrender, to forfeit your own life to Jesus, to be broken from what you currently have, Jesus says that's the place where you will find greater life. And communion is this culmination where we receive the forgiveness of Jesus, but also we step into the same brokenness that Jesus was willing to offer to us so that we can now offer it to others, that we might be surrendered to God, to be used for others, to be a blessing to the world. You see, in my life, I've had to be broken from a number of things. I remember years and years and years ago, where God first started really breaking me from my own greed. I in high school, when I got my driver's license, I got a big old Chevy Silverado, this huge truck. And before every football game, before basketball games, different sporting events, I'd back up my truck into the parking lot, and we would tailgate out of my truck. So I would bring all this food and beverages. I'd sometimes bring a little mini grill, and sometimes I'd cook steaks or venison, and I'd give it away to people. And people, 20, 30, 40 people would come and tailgate with me, and I'd just say, hey, whatever you can pitch in, that would be awesome because it was expensive. In all of my years of high school, not one time did somebody pitch in. You see, what God was teaching me there is that he was breaking me from my greed so that I could be a blessing in my generosity for the people around me. I remember when, and some of you have heard this story in the past, but when God broke me from my really unhealthy dating relationships. That when I was in middle school, high school, I dated people, and I was so unhealthy in how I chose to date. And at the end of high school, I had this this breakup that was just awful, and it left me broken. And over the next 3 months after this had happened, God met me in my brokenness and started to speak to me and show me what it looks like to date in a more healthy kind of way. In a way where, in how I would choose to now date, I could now honor the person that I was dating. I could now honor God as well, and I could honor myself. But I went from being this unhealthy dater that God broke me free from so that I could be even a blessing in now the way that I would choose to date. But perhaps for me, the most difficult brokenness that God has ever walked me through happened just a few years ago. You see, I was in a place in my own life where I was just really cold towards other people. I wasn't terribly caring about the people around me. I would joke around with people about how I had no compassion for people. It was a place in my life where I didn't look anything like Jesus. I didn't use people, but I just didn't listen to people. I didn't really care about people's stories. I was just cold towards people. And there's one night in particular where I just couldn't fall asleep. I couldn't tell you why. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. I'd gone to bed like 4 hours earlier. I could not fall asleep, and I get a phone call out of the blue. And usually I have my phone on silent, but because I wasn't sleeping, I saw my phone light up. And so I looked at it, and it was a volunteer here at church. I was like, oh, weird. So I answered the phone, and this person went on to tell me that a student here had taken their life, that they died from suicide. And I was just crushed. I'd known who this person was. They were a family friend of ours. They were a core student in this ministry, and somebody that my wife had mentored for years. And I got off the phone, and I had to wake up my wife now and tell her what had happened. And in that moment, I've never hurt so deeply. I've never cried so hard. I've never wailed so loudly in my brokenness. That night, I went with the students' family and just sat with them in their brokenness. The next day, I was with our students and just sat in our brokenness with volunteers and people here at church, and we were broken together. And here I was supposed to be the leader of this whole thing. I didn't know what to do. I was lost. I was devastated. And what had happened is that we became broken as a community together. But we were also broken from something as well. See, when we come to a place like this, it's pretty well received that when you come here, it's safe to just not pretend, to be real and honest with each other, to not judge other people because of whatever reason. This community is now a really safe and an awesome place to just take a breath and be real. But we weren't always like this. You see, in that season of brokenness, what God did in me and what God did in this community was break us free from our sins of being judgmental. What God did in this season was to break us free from that being fake with each other and just putting on a smile with each other. He broke us free from having these just horribly shallow relationships where we never talked about anything real. That God began to break us free from these things that kept us back from living the life that he was calling us to live, to being the community that he was calling us to be. That whole season was so hard. And what I know for certain is that God did not cause that brokenness, but he was with us through the whole thing. And it was because of this brokenness that this community is now the blessing that it is today. In Psalm 51:17, it says that the sacrifice that God desires is a broken spirit. He says that you will not reject a broken and repentant heart, O God. The sacrifice you desire is a broken spirit. You see, in brokenness, you can find hope. It's in brokenness you can actually find blessing. It's in brokenness that we come before God, not in all of our strengths and in all of our power and all of our talents, but we come to God and we just surrender because there's nothing more that we can give. In Psalm 34:18, it says that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed, that God meets you in your brokenness. And when you choose to surrender, he leads you to the kind of life that he calls you to live. He leads you to become a greater blessing on the other side. See, Lord, break me is not a safe prayer. If you choose to pray a prayer like this, it's not going to make life easier. It's not going to make you look strong or give you more followers. A prayer like this might leave you crushed and broken. It may leave you ugly crying down on your knees because you have nothing else to give. But like a cocoon that breaks open so that something beautiful can come out. Or like broken glass in the hands of an artist. God can take your brokenness and will bring blessings out of it. And if there's blessings on the other side of brokenness, then Lord, break me.
Just sit, I could just sit and wait for all your goodness, hope to feel your presence. I could just stay right where I am and hope to feel you, hope to feel something again. I could hold on, oh I could hold on to who I am and never let you change me from the inside. I could be safe, oh I could be safe here in your arms and never leave home, never let these walls down. You have called me higher, you have called me deeper, I'm going where you lead me. change to come, knowing the battle's won, for you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you've never failed me yet. I know the night won't last, your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again. Jesus, you're still enough. Keep me within your love. My heart will sing your praise again. Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you never failed me yet. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I've seen you move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way where there was no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I'll see you do it Your promise still stands, great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, this is my confidence, you never failed me yet. You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I call upon your name, and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul rests in your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you never failed and you won't start now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine.
And after he dismissed the crowds, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat by this time was a long way from land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night he came to them, walking on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It's a ghost." And they cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." And Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come out to you on the water." He said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink and cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and took hold of him, saying to him, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?"
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. And Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. And take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. And take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. And take me deeper than my feet could ever wander. My faith will be made stronger in the presence of my I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. But I am yours, and you are mine.
as we were singing, there's a really clear sense to me that there are some of you here who are in a season of brokenness already. And to ask God to break you any further would just be too much. And the word for you is that that's the season that you find yourself in. Stop fighting the brokenness and enter into surrender with Jesus. That he's already there with you. And it sucks. It's hard. But he's there. And he wants to move you forward. He wants to take those pieces that are all broken and shattered and turn it into something beautiful, something unique. He wants to take something that maybe is broken in you today and use it to be a blessing tomorrow. What I also know is that some of you also just feel stuck in life, maybe in your faith. And what you need is for something to be shaken loose. For maybe something to break loose, to be broken, so that blessing can come out of it. And what I want you to hear tonight is that Jesus is with you. He wants to walk with you. He wants you to grow and to do something beautiful in your life. But it begins with surrender. And for some of you, that means praying that dangerous prayer, Lord, break me.
And here, Jesus is walking in that brokenness with you. But so are we as a community. We hold each other up. And we put, with Jesus, all of us back together. Each one of us has a part in that. I help put Brian back together. Brian helps put back me together. We do that as a community. And one of the ways we show that is with the step. So if you guys want to stand with me, we're going to say a few words and show that Jesus is with us in that brokenness, but so are we here at Redeemer Youth as a community. So say it with me.
Each week, we take a step to signify our continuing walk with Jesus Christ. 3, 2, 1, step!
I will see you next week.
Redeemer Youth. Here are 3 questions to help you take the message that you just heard and go a little bit deeper in your faith. Question number 1. Who do you know who's experienced deep brokenness, but is now actually stronger spiritually because of it? Question number 2. If you did ask God to break you, what do you think he might break you from? Selfishness, pride, anger, lust? What do you think? And question number 3. What questions do you have about prayer or God or faith or the Bible? I want to encourage you to text those in to 763-200-8225. Send us your questions and then join us on March 7th for our Q&A night. Today, if you're ready, maybe the prayer that you need to pray is, if there's blessing on the other side of brokenness, then Lord, break me. Again, I want to thank you for joining us here at Redeemer Youth. We want to encourage you now to go and take your next step in your faith journey.